Hello, welcome to Paleo Greenbeard. I'm Greenbird. Thanks for joining me. I hope you're doing awesome today. And today I am going to reduce just a small piece of Flint Ridge into a biface form so we can make a point out of it. You see a big bulb of percussion here on the surface, which indicates to me that this was a flake that was taken out, probably out of a big spall, popped out, somehow made it to my hands, not exactly sure how, doesn't matter. So we're going to take it and we're going to see what we can do with it. So the first thing I'm going to do, like I always do, is just clean off the edges, get rid of all the annoying stuff that does not want to come off. As you can see, I forgot to put my glove on. Let's hope I don't cut myself again. Alright, so I've got a big deep dive right here. Hopefully you can see that in the camera. So I know this piece of material over here is not going to really be part of the point. I don't see it making any decent platforms, so I'm just going to get rid of it. Let's take a look at this rock and see what we should do next. Need to give myself some platforms. Again, just trying to get rid of parts of the rock that I know is not going to be there in the long run, and also won't give me any platforms. So I think what I'm going to do now, I've got a big step right there that I need to address. I just caused that. That's okay though, I've got a big ridge down here that I can run. I'm going to do a little bit of zigzagging. Double up my padding here though. Just little flakes, just enough to zigzag and give me some platforms to really do what I want to do. This big edge here, but I'm going to kind of get it from the other side. I feel like I'm running out of really good solid places to zigzag here. See how thick it gets? That's a good indication that it's just going to do bad things. Not even really grinding at this point. Could grind if I wanted to, but in fact, it's funny you said it. Right here, I sort of ran out of zigzag, but I do have a nice platform, so I'm going to grind it wherever my grinding stone is, and I'm going to take it. Try and pop off that big part there. I'm not going for a huge flake, just to get rid of that. Sort of did. Thin it out quite a bit. And I think I'll go back to zigzagging a little bit. Alright. So I've zigzagged this off. You can see right here I have a pretty good platform that could take off a lot of mass right there. I do want to take off mass going this way too, so I need to think about this. See, because if I take off this platform right here, I might shoot it across here and be stuck with that little piece in the middle. I have to really think about what I want to do here. Boy, that's tough, isn't it? but I think I'm going to do it. It's the best option that I have right now. Is to take this platform right here, blast that flake across, and I probably, most likely will leave an idle in there. I just have to hope that I can clean it up later. It's still too sharp. Sometimes I like to use a hammerstone to abrade with instead of a sandstone, because it's a little more aggressive. Oh, look at that. Couldn't have asked for a better flake on that. I got so lucky. Blasted it off, got all around that dirty spot. I thought I was going to blast this way and leave myself an island over here. And look, took that whole flake right off. That's great. That makes me feel really good. So I'm starting to flatten this out. That saved me a lot of trouble. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to dress this end here is starting to get a little bit thinner. This end is thinner too, but this end here is thicker than this end. And I do have a nice natural platform right here. There's a thick spot, so why not take it? And that's what we're doing here, right? I'm abrading kind of hard. I'm kind of hitting it as I'm doing it because I want to really get. I have like a kind of a chattery platform, and I want to make sure I get off all of the softer stone that's going to want to break off anyway. I just want that platform because I want to try and drive the flake all the way across. I'm going for almost an overshot here. That's that platform. Always good to take a second look at your platforms just to make sure. Now, I'm taking a platform where I already have a step. That brings some problems of its own, but hopefully the stone is still thick enough to where I can clean that up. So let's take the platform right here, the one that's closest to the edge. I'm going to belt it down. Just for aim. Go. Got a nice flake that went across. You can see where I'm going to clean that up a little bit. Have a continuous platform. I'm going to take another one. Continue to clean that up. One more left. That one sounded really good. So I'm continuing to clean this up. Another platform, but I'm going to grind. That's good. So that was a good flake. Also left me a platform here to keep going. But before I do that, I want to address the thickness on the base here. Zigzag this base. Let's do some grinding. Just keep this thing dull so it doesn't cut me because it's pretty sharp. Flint Ridge gets really sharp. I know obsidian, everyone talks about how sharp obsidian is, and it is sharp. Some of these flints, they can get pretty sharp too. It's not exactly perfect platform material, but I can tell it's at like one of those. It's hard to explain, but it's at an angle where it just needs to come off. You're not even really hitting a good platform, but you're hitting the rock at an angle where you can just kind of sense it's going to pop off. You know, you're not looking for super long flakes. This is just to kind of clean the rock up. This is exactly how I cut myself last time. Alright, so there we go. So I've got a platform right here. So hopefully drive that flake right off there. Let's do it. Try not to spend as much time as I normally do, you know, talking about and discussing the flake. Figure if you've seen my other videos, you can kind of get that information if you want. I'm riding this. I have a continuous platform that I'm just riding right down. I got to get the other side. The other side's getting real thick. Go. Alright, so you can see we're starting to thin this out really good. Gotta get a flake off up here. My base is still really thick. I think I'm gonna, rather than trying to hit up in this direction, I'm gonna go back down to my base. Trying to see what I can get down there. But I'm going to have to hit it relatively hard because I've got this big flake right here. I've got kind of a chattery stepped platform. It's not a great platform. If you didn't have to take it, I wouldn't recommend doing it. There we go. Blast it off the side. Still have part of my platform here. I'm going to take that. Alright, came out good. So now let's do some shaping. Support is pretty crucial. Alright, so that did a pretty good job. We'll do some shaping. We'll make this another little knife. I could turn this into a point, but I kind of like making knives, so I'm not making a knife. Napping off the hand, support everywhere. Be conscious that when you're napping off the hand, you could end up with this. Sorry to give you the bird, but that's just where it happened to get me. Let's grind it. I think we're about ready for maybe our last pass. This will be a nice knife blink. We finish up with some pressure, some light percussion with a smaller billet. I actually, believe it or not, do have a smaller billet than this 3/4 inch. So it's a little bit different of a billet. It has more lead in it, but it's smaller. You know what? I just realized also I have my wedding ring on. I usually try and take that off when I'm napping because it will hit the stone and can break it. Alright, so I'm pretty happy with this. Trying to see if there's anything I should touch up before I put it let go. Maybe I'll work on the center line a little bit. I mean, it's fine, but I mean, this is a preform. But I'm going to get off all the light stuff, the dusty stuff that doesn't want to be there, so that when I go to finish this, I can just finish it. I don't have to do a lot of maintenance. I think for using percussion, we have brought this down pretty good. This is acceptable. I'm sure the master's out there. They're probably laughing at me and telling me all the things they would do better, but that's okay, because someday I'll be as good as them. At this point, every flake I take is sort of a risk. Shaping a little bit. Look at that one. That one stuck right to me. Let's get inside my band-aid. Really should have worn my glove. That was dumb, but... Alright, so I'm just going to take a couple more flakes and we're going to call this, because this is good. Couple flakes on the tip. Don't want to make sure. I want to make sure that the tip is not thicker than the rest, because that will cause you problems when you try to use it, you know, functionally. But it can be easy to lose track of things and make the tip, keep the tip rather thicker than the rest of the stone. Because that's the part that you're most worried about breaking. So it can tend to get neglected. Oh yeah, this is fun. Let's just take a little bit more off the bottom here and let's call it. Oh, there's a little more that needs to be taken off of here too. You can feel the flakes. When the flakes come off, you can hear them, you can feel them. You just know. There's no denying it. So I'm going to grind this off. I think we have our blade pre-formed. We'll come and finish this up. And I really appreciate you hanging with me here till the end of the video. I know I do a lot of preforms, and there's a reason for that. You know what? I guess I'll talk about it now. There's a couple reasons. One, first and foremost, I love percussion. I would do percussion all day long. But two, you know, I've just come off of a probably 8-month break from napping, because the napping season here where I live is very, very limited. So it's always good to make your preforms, because then when you go to clean them up, you've already dusted the rust off, and you can clean them up a little bit more each time. So it's not a bad idea to have a collection of preforms. And three, I figure if you're new at napping and you're enjoying these videos, and maybe you're trying knapping for the first time yourself, it's always good to start by just bifacing, reducing stone, before you even think about taking before you think about making a point, because what will happen is that you'll find that as you continue to reduce your spalls into preforms and bifaces, you'll notice that you're just getting a little bit better and better and better every time. And then when you go to finish those points, you'll thin them out a little bit more each time, and you'll just get better and better. So I would say there's nothing wrong with just making a bunch of bifaces and then turning those bifaces into points. Kind of rinse, repeat that whole cycle until you get to the point where maybe you can start with one stone and reduce it all to exactly what you want, a preform, and then turn it into a point. So it's kind of hard to resist to take off some of these flakes. Alright guys, so thank you so much for watching, and if you have any questions, any comments, I really would love to hear them. This is Paleo Greenbird. Hope you're having a fantastic day, and I'm signing out.